Penn State, Notre Dame. Um, this one was a game, I made a TikTok on it, that was honestly, in my opinion, mostly controlled by Penn State.
Yes.
Throughout the majority of this game, they dominated on the ground, having one of the best running back tandems in the nation. And I think I just saw recently on Instagram or something that they're both coming back, Singleton and Katron Allen.
Oh,
So
wow.
that'll be a really good running back room next year. Obviously, very good this year. And they really did their thing. I just think, I don't know, man. This is kind of a weird one towards the end. Penn State, obviously, Drew Aller had that awful interception there at the end to kind of help steal their fate. Notre Dame playing good enough to stick around in it and then winning at the end, in my opinion, was kind of the feel of this game. But Penn State, I was very impressed for the most part throughout the game with their defensive front, their front seven. Abdul Carter played his ass off. And Notre Dame found a way to win it in the end, surprisingly. So,
yeah. I mean, this was especially Penn State's defense. I mean, Riley Leonard had the 2 picks that, I mean, he just seemed like he was off. And then shout out to, I had just had his name, Steve Angeli.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like the backup quarterback, like
before halftime.
Yeah, got
that
some
was
points.
Huge. Those were their first points of the game.
Yeah, first points of the game. So yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Like I was talking about like some of the like the coordinator battles in this matchup, because you got Al Golden on one side, defensive coordinator for Notre Dame, and just taking on not Tom Allen. Tom Allen was the defensive coordinator. God, what is the offensive coordinator of Penn State's name? Whatever. We move on.
Don't know ball.
Don't know ball.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, whatever your name is. Yeah, I mean, for Notre Dame to put up 24 points in the second half, like, really just a lot of great adjustments by Marcus Freeman and the boys. And, yeah, just to find a way to win, even though Riley Leonard's not having his best day through the air, I think that's the mark of a complete team. And that'll be very interesting. You know, not trying to look ahead too far, but I think their next opponent, Riley Leonard's going to have to play very clean. But possibly. This game, in this situation, they were able to play well enough as a team to take care of business. Now, I don't really understand the clock management down there towards the end. I didn't love it. I don't know why I don't know. Like, you had all 3 timeouts. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Like, this game was also
to see stuff like that as a Falcons fan.
Yeah.
And reading Morris, you know, it kind of kicks up some residual feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, especially
clock management.
A lot of people get it wrong.
A lot of people get it wrong.
And the ones that get it right get paid handsomely.
So. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, hey, dude, when you're getting that many reps on NCAA, you know, and just how to manage the clock, everybody's an armchair quarterback.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it really came down to the crucial mistake made by Drew Aller.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately had the opportunity served to him on a golden platter to go win the game, and the one time they needed him to push the ball down the field, he can't do it.
I saw a quote from him. I think he was saying on the interception he threw, he was trying to dirt it at his feet. So I guess maybe he wasn't confident in the throw and he was trying to put it in the ground in front of him. It
was like a 20-yard pass
directly to the defender. Yeah, no, I know it was kind of weird, but I don't know, man. We've on this channel have talked a lot about Drew Aller in the past. I think this season definitely overall, looking at Penn State with Drew Aller, has been a step forward. For the most part, not saying that, you know, the bar wasn't pretty low when he first came in. He just really, to me, wasn't someone they could lean on to win them any kind of games this season.
Yeah.
To be quite frank, I think the big games they won, they dominated on the ground. Nick Singleton, Katron Allen did their thing. finally figured out that Tyler Warren exists, and you don't even have to give Drew Aller the ball to get in the ball. You snap it straight to him.
Yep.
Right? So, I mean, Penn State needs a game manager at this point, to be quite honest with you. And I don't think Drew Aller is even that. At the current moment. He's had flashes, but this roster is loaded. I mean, next to Ohio State, they have a lot of talent. Their defense is playing the best football they played all season. So they played well enough to win this game, but they made mistakes down the stretch.
I mean, we're just in a different era of college football right now. Like, I feel like Drew Aller would have been a great quarterback back in 2012. The days of the Aaron Murrays and the AJ McCarrons, where, 75% of the time you're handing the ball off. Most of what you got to do is make sure everybody's lined up correctly and you get everybody in the right place, make sure the protection's correct. And then after you run the ball 7 times, then you hit your number one wide receiver on a 65-yard post route. But I don't know. I just don't know if Aller has the line presence and the command of the game that those guys had. But I think that the best parallel that I can draw for Aller right now is very Will Levis-esque. No disrespect to either one of those guys, but I mean, listen, when Will Levis was at Kentucky, they had a great defense and a really good running back, and they were able to win some games. And I don't know. I just think that if Drew Aller continues on this trajectory with the bad decision making in crunch time, that could become even more so true. So I'm just tired of pretending he's a great quarterback.
Yeah, I know this is a tangent, but I don't know why Will Levis was so highly rated out of college.
He's got the intangibles.
I never saw it.
It's the man.
He's still shit.
Yeah. I mean, well, and that's the thing. That's the thing. I think that when Drew Aller comes out of this, they're going to look at the fact that, he's 6'3" or however tall he is.
Oh yeah, he's got the measurables.
He's got the high football
even though he didn't
IQ.
do shit.
I'll say something about that. Josh Allen has absolutely ruined draft evals for guys like Drew Aller, Will Levis. Like, they're going to be drafted so highly, and I think J.J. McCarthy falls into this too. They're going to be drafted so highly just based on upside. Not everybody's Josh Allen.
That's valid.
Yeah,
that's a great point, actually. But I don't know, if you're a franchise like the Browns, right? Can you really afford to draft a guy on upside?
No.
I don't know. Says the Falcons fan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
This Penn State
27-year-old rookie, but
it does remind me, and y'all are gonna hate me for saying this. They've got that 2017 Georgia archetype going for them. Like, I'm comparing Aller.
Comparing Drew Aller to Jake Fromm.
Freshman Jake Fromm, though. All he had to do was manage games. He didn't really win us many games that year with his arm.
Didn't have to.
2 stud running backs: Sony Michel, Nick Chubb, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton. And we didn't have a Tyler Warren type on that team. I mean, Isaac Nauta was a 5-star, but
he's a blocker.
Yeah. And then good defense, good secondary on that Georgia team.
Yeah. No, I don't hate that, actually. I mean, because both teams fell short.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put that Georgia team in a 12-team playoff format, probably get bounced the same time this Penn State team did.
It's just, like you said, Brandon, it's, the current era of college football. What has worked in the past does not work today. And I'm curious to see how this Penn State team comes back, because bringing back Allen, Singleton, Aller, Tyler Warren's going to the league. You're
he better be.
He's getting paid.
On.
So,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. And your defensive coordinator.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that's enough about Penn State. What do we?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, we're kind of dwelling on them a little
bit. Kick the
bit.
shit out of Penn. So anyway, Notre Dame, very good football team.
Yeah, no, they're good. I mean, I love this playoff format has already worked and given, teams like Notre Dame and Ohio State, second chances, third chances even. Obviously, Notre Dame losing to NIU early in the season, then Ohio State losing 2 games in the regular season. So I think it's done what it's intended to do. And it kind of gives you an opportunity in college football. If you can scrape your way to the end of the season and just make it into the playoff, it turns into a situation where if you hit your stride and you're playing your best football at the end of the season, you have more games and momentum to carry that over into. Whereas before, you got to win your conference championship most likely to make the 4-team playoff, and then you get like a week off, and then it's kind of choppy, and you get a couple breaks here, but you're not really having that run down the stretch per se.
Yeah, and I think that no one's really arguing like whether a team should be there when we got to, I'm going to call it the Elite Eight. I know it's not the Elite Eight, but stick with me. Like, no one's going to really argue at the Elite Eight level if they should have been there.
If Penn State
Because those
should
are pretty.
or not. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then once we get to this, to the quarterfinal, or sorry, the semifinals, then it's like, yes, these were good games. Like, everybody knows that everybody belongs at this point, and this being the first semifinal game was a breath of fresh air. It was like, okay, we got a game that came down to the final minute of the game.
Yeah.
And it was a 3-point margin.
Technically,
and
2, if you count. I mean, we'll get to that, obviously. The scoop and score. 2 games came down to the final minute.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Technically. Yeah. I mean, Marcus Freeman and Riley Leonard and all those guys, they're putting in the work.
Yeah.
They look good.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I will say Jeremiah Love is a dog. That was that him on that rushing touchdown, the second and third effort.
I
Yeah.
can double check for you.
That was a hell of a play.
Stud. Yes. Abdul Carter went for the ball instead of the tackle. Yeah, that was a damn good play.
Yeah, it was Jeremiah Love, by the way. Good job.
Yep. And I'm sure we'll touch more on Notre Dame a little later. I do just have to say this. It might be a little bit announcer fatigue. This is the longest college football season that we've ever had. So if that is what this is, then forgive me. I'm tired of hearing about Mitch Jeter and his fucking groin. I'm so over it.
His dad, the chiropractor.
Like, oh my god, dude. Like the past
I'm
3
also
games.
It's
That's
the same talking
point. Fucking talk about.
And I don't know, like, trust me. At the time, Greg McElroy was the quarterback at Alabama. I was an Alabama fan. I am sick and tired of Greg McElroy.
Yeah.
Now, part of that is probably due to the Drew Aller glazing that he had going on, but I don't know. The more he talks and the more I hear him in these primetime situations, I just don't really know if he knows what he's talking about.
He had a whole spiel about the clock management that we kind of touched on earlier. He was like, I don't know if he said they should score or shouldn't score a touchdown.
He was saying they shouldn't score and then run the clock out, kick the field goal to end the game. But he's acting like it was the end of the world. Exactly. I don't know. There was a couple of situations where it was like, it didn't really seem like he was paying attention.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
I'm done with the Citrus Bowl?
Orange Bowl.
Yeah. Same thing.
Citrus Bowl. Yeah. Both direct.
Extremely different.
Close enough.
It was a break.
In Florida. All right. Give me a break.
We'll get a couple options there.